We're going to start the class with a few yin poses, and then we're going to build up into a Vinyasa Flow, so a little bit more heat, quite a lot of movement. And it's sometimes just, I really like to start a class with yin, partly to really settle, but also because it starts really, that kind of slow practice at the beginning warms into the joints, into the fascia quite quickly. So if you'd like to come to sitting and immediately come to closing your eyes, we'll settle briefly and then come into our first yin pose. Take these first few moments to simply arrive in the body. To come to the breath. To notice what you've woken with this morning. And feeling every breath in ground you down through the base of your body. And similarly, every breath out ground you. Feeling a connection to the earth, to the surface beneath you. But then noticing how each breath in and each breath out also brings with them a sense of an elevation, a lift of energy and expansion up and through the body. A brightening in the chest, a brightening out through your shoulder tips and the top of your head. Take a few more breaths, settling, feeling into this movement down and up of energy as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And if you want to welcome in or conjure any particular quality for your practice, any particular intention, then go ahead and do that. And then bringing your hands together in front of the heart space. Taking a couple of breaths here, centering. And taking a full breath in. And bowing your head, breathing out. And then lifting your head and opening your eyes. And coming to our first yin pose, which is a baby dragon. So we didn't do this last night. We're going to work a little into the hips. So if you'd like to bring your right foot in between your hands and take your left knee as far back as feels right for you, and do cushion it if you would like to. And we're going to stay for 3 minutes, which can feel quite intense, especially in the morning. Yin in the morning is yin on cold tissue, and it can feel a little bit raw. So when you're ready, dropping yourself into the pose, and I'm going to stay silent for you. other than to say, stay with the breath. Keep coming back to the breath. And soften. Staying present to every sensation. Try in a yin pose like this to come to stillness. We're coming into the final minute of the pose. Really notice where you're feeling it and plunge right in there with your attention. Final 30 seconds. I know it can be intense. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. And begin to draw your right hip back, bring your toes towards you just for a moment. We won't stay long. You can see I've straightened my right leg. Pull the toes. We're just transitioning here. Nice little hamstring stretch. And then from here, we're going to bend back forwards again. But I'd like you to draw your left knee in a little bit. And can you see that in this version, my knee is overshooting the ankle? So this is called dragon flying forwards. And you can bring your hand up to the knee. And if you are able to, this is a shorter hold. You could hold onto your elbows. And there's a sense of dragging back and an opening of the chest. Breathe. Stay with the breath. Lovely to see you back, Lorna. Be good to know what Lewis is like in a minute. We've been wondering about this summer. We'll get in touch. Probably not a good idea really, but quite like to be up in the Hebrides. Beautiful. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. And then release your hands. Ooh, and gently bring the right knee back under the hip. Take a moment to feel the difference between the two sides. And we'll take those two poses to the left. So bring your left knee forwards. And the first pose, I might not have been clear enough. You want the ankle right under the knee. So then we move into the second pose. It's really clear that the knee is further forwards. And take your right knee as far back as feels right for you. And now settle in. And soften and come to the breath, welcoming in all sensation. It's really interesting to notice what's going on in the face and the mouth and the throat. Can you soften? And feel everything. And you're coming to your final minute. Coming to your final minute. Notice where you're clinging, where you're holding on, and let go there. Final 30 seconds. And taking a full breath in and a long breath out. And we'll gently transition back, drawing the left hip back, drawing your toes towards you. Taking a moment here to feel into the back of the left leg. And then when you're ready, rocking forwards again, sliding forward so that the left knee overshoots the ankle. And coming up first of all with your hands to the knee. And then holding on if you're wanting to your elbows, so that you feel a drag down past the tailbone and an opening and a brightening in the chest for 1 minute. Hi, Charity. Breathe. A little bit of balance goes on here. Stay present if you can. Stay with the breath. And taking one full breath in and a long breath out. And gently releasing from the pose. You're feeling slightly tender, and draw the knee back. Palms are down. Very gently circle into the hips. That should feel really quite nice. And then take those circles in the opposite direction. And then from here we come down into Sphinx and or Seal. You like to simply bring yourselves onto your belly. If you're able to, your elbows are underneath your shoulders. If that's giving you a little bit of jip in the lower back, come down a bit. And what we'll do is this will be a 5-minute hold. It's a longer hold. But after 2 minutes, I'll give you an option of coming up into Seal, which is a more, it's a stronger back bend for those of you who would like more compression in the lower spine. You might like to introduce a soft ujjayi breath now, a soft constriction in the back of the throat. And if you would like to, you can add a count. So that as you breathe in with a full focus and curiosity on the breath, you count to 4 or 5. And as you breathe out, you count the same. And if it's not too much to focus on, you could also bring a direction into your breath so that you start in the center of your heart. And as you breathe in, you draw the breath down to your pelvic floor, pause, and then on the breath out, it's almost as if the breath bounces off the pelvic floor back up to your heart space with that same count. And you're welcome to stay here. If you want to come into a slightly more intense Seal pose, you draw your hands in towards you, fingers pointing out, straight arms. Allow the shoulder blades to slide down the spine. And come back to that focus on the breath if that works for you. This can be too intense for some people. Don't tolerate any pain in the lower back. Compression, a sense of pressure in the lower vertebrae is a good thing, but not pain. Stay close and come down lower if you need to. We've got a little bit more than a minute to go. And I think Sarah, you might, oh no, Paul's here as well. A couple of you were here last night. It'd be interesting to know how this feels different to how it felt last night. Long holds. And coming into the final 30 seconds of the pose, if you want to breathe a little deeper. And then taking a full breath in and a long breath out. And coming slowly down, and you'll feel it now. Come slowly down onto your bellies. Take your hands underneath your forehead. And you can let go of the count, the direction of the breath, and simply feel your belly inflating against the floor to create space in your lower back as a counter pose here. And then from here, sliding your hands back to your ribs. Be gentle, be slow as you come back to an all fours position. Take a couple of breaths here. Really spread your fingers. Curl your toes under. And come back to a downward dog. And really take your time to find your way into this downward dog. The sense of pushing down through your hands, lifting up with the sitting bones, the tailbone. And you don't have to come to straight legs immediately. 5 more full breaths. Really widen the hips. Floating your right leg up. And as you lift it, can you rotate it inwards just a notch so you're not rotating it out? And then lift a little bit more from the navel. And we bring the right knee forwards for a pigeon. So bring the right knee outside the right hand. You can come onto the top of your right foot just for a moment and then settle yourself down. Check your left leg is straight. If there's any pain in the right knee, come to pigeon on the back, the right ankle over the left knee, and draw your legs in towards you. Then draw your hands back a little bit so you can puff up your chest. If you need to lift up again before you can come down and melt into the hips, please do. And breathe here. Maybe take your head back if it feels good to open in the throat. You might be still with your Ujjayi breath. One more breath in here, and then gently come down onto your forearms, really melting into that right hip. And we're looking for an open chest. And then walking your forearms around to the right. So you look over your right shoulder, just for a breath or two. Feeling slowly and gently into what this little twist feels like to the right. And then walking your arms back again. And then coming over to the left, just a little way. It's just a funny little lateral twist here. Not even sure it's really a twist, but you'll feel it in the right hip maybe. Wonderful. And then gently come back. Lift your hands up and see if you feel any more space in the chest. Take a full breath in and a long breath out. Curl your back toes under and come back to your downward dog. And rippling forwards to your plank. Breathe in. And drop your knees and roll all the way down over the front of your body. And roll the shoulders slowly up to the ears and back to peel the chest off. And up. Inhale in your mini cobra. And exhale, come down. Coming back to a downward dog. And then floating your left leg up with that slight internal rotation, turning the leg in towards the center and then lifting it higher. Inhale, and then bringing your left knee for pigeon or coming onto your back. Checking for your alignment here. First of all, bringing your hands back so you can really puff up the chest. If you want to press into your feet, I sometimes do this in order to then be able to settle that down again. And take a couple of breaths here. We're being very slow at the beginning of this class. Getting right into the hips. Really open chest. Soft in the face. And then take a full breath in here. And as you breathe out, come down on your forearms. Notice how that might feel a little bit different. In the left buttock, the left hip, maybe the outside on the left thigh. And then gently walk yourself around to the left for that little twist. Feels more of a twist coming to the side of the bent knee than the other. The other feels more like a lateral stretch. And take a couple of breaths as you look over your left shoulder here. Very soft. And then coming back around to the right, looking over your right shoulder. Taking a couple of breaths here. And then coming back to the center. Drawing your hands towards you to feel the opening in your chest. Shoulders drawn back. And come back to a downward dog. And breathe in your downward dog. Finding space to breathe. And rippling forwards to your plank. Inhale. And you might want to drop your knees, or you might now want to come down straight as a stick all the way down. And breathe in, come into a mini cobra. And breathe out here. Take another breath in, really activating those back muscles. And breathe out, come all the way down. And come back up to all fours and a downward dog. Very slow. Can you feel the body? And lift your right leg up again. Inhale, lift it from the navel. And sweep your foot in between your hands. And drop the left knee again. This time bringing both hands inside the right foot. And we'll take a few breaths in gecko, not a full yin pose. So see if you can really find length in the spine and an open chest. And then maybe you come down on your forearms, or maybe you bring your forearms onto a prop. And if your right knee falls out, if you roll onto the outer edge of your foot, a little bit like that, that's also fine. So getting right into the hips here. I hope you're enjoying it, Faye. Breathe, maybe your Ujjayi breath, 3 more full breaths. One more full breath. And bringing yourself back to a downward dog. Noticing how these downward dogs feel after the hip opening. And floating the left leg up from the navel, lift it up. Lift it a bit higher, inhale, and sweep the left foot forwards. And bring the right knee down. Both hands inside the left foot. And inhale to find length and an open chest, and then come down as far as works for you. Inside the left foot. Absolutely fine if the knee and the foot roll over to the side. You find your pose. And breathe. Two more full breaths. And we're going to begin to build up now a little more of a flow. Full half an hour. Just getting into the juice of our hips and lower spine. Gently come back to a downward dog. And breathe, really push the hands into the mat, the base of the thumbs and forefingers here. Notice how as you do this, your shoulder blades can fan out a little bit on the back. And then take the tops of your thighs up and back. Full, glorious breaths. We're going to bring the sun out. And breathe in, come forwards to your plank. Choose your way down to the mat. Either take a cobra or an upward dog. Breathe in. And downward dog again. Full breath in and a long breath out. And then looking in between your hands, walk, step or jump your feet forwards into a forward fold. And breathing in, open your chest out, lengthen your spine. And breathe out, fold again, and really root down through the heels as you lift your sitting bones up. Breathe here. Lovely feeling of the rooting down and the lifting up at the same time. And then from the ground, bring your palms together and breathe in, come all the way up. And breathe out, hands to your heart. Take a moment to feel the body now. In this flow, listen to your body, won't you? Don't push yourself further than feels comfortable for you. Breathing in, lift. And breathe out, fold. Breathe in, open chest. And breathe out, step your left foot back into a runner's lunge now. Take a breath in here. You've got all the hip opening done already. Lovely and open in the chest. Breathe out to your downward dog. Come forwards to plank. And come all the way down to the mat your way. And this time, as you lift your chest and roll your shoulders to cobra, lift your legs as well and open them out wide. Inhale, scissor them together, exhale. Inhale wide, exhale. Inhale wide, exhale. Bring the chest down. Push yourself to all fours and a downward dog. Full breath in and a long breath out. Looking in between your hands, step your left foot forwards and come into that little runner's lunge, pushing out through that back heel and smile. One more inhale and then exhale, step lightly forwards into a forward fold. Inhale, long spine, open chest. Exhale, fold again. Palms together, inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. And breathing in, come up. And exhale, fold. And breathing into an open chest. And step your right leg back first this time. Exhale. Feel the body. Slow and juicy. Come back to your downward dog. Forwards to plank. Choose your way down to the mat. And again on the inhale, chest and legs lift. Draw your legs apart and exhale, legs together. And inhale, draw your legs apart. Exhale, scissoring your legs one more time. Exhale, come down. Bring yourself back to all fours in a downward dog. And step your right foot forwards. Take a breath here. Inhale, and on the exhale, coming to your forward fold. Inhaling to a flat back. Exhale, fold again. Really draw your navel up and in, or in and up. And palms together, come all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart and feel the body. Feel the body. Oh, hi Bob. Not sure I saw you there earlier. Good to see you. And inhale, lift. And exhale, fold. And inhale to a flat back. And exhale, step your right foot back this time and bring the knee down. And inhaling, lift up your arms. Bring your palms together and exhale, hands behind your head. And take 3 breaths, really scissoring your legs in towards each other. Really opening the chest, so good. One more breath in and a long breath out. And then from here, lifting your arms again, inhale, exhale, downward dog. And inhale forwards to plank. And exhale, drop your knees. Lift your feet behind you to cross your ankles. Drawing your integrity into your core. Inhale, exhale, come into a mini press up. Inhale, push up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, push up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, push up. Return to your plank. Exhale here. Take another breath in. And then choose your way all the way down to the mat. And we're going to come into those scissor legs again. So inhale, chest up, lift your legs wide. Exhale, legs together. Take two more. Come all the way down. Come back into a mini cobra, but this time with the legs down. Inhale. And now bring yourself back to downward dog. Doesn't that feel good? I hope so for you. Looking in between your hands, step your right foot forwards and bring the left knee down. And inhale, lift your arms, palms together, exhale, hands behind you. Really stable in the lower body as you open into the chest, pushing the chest forwards, your armpits forwards. Breathe. Press the heels of your hands together. One more breath in and a breath out. And then lift your arms, inhale. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, come to plank. Drop your knees, or if you like press ups with the knees up, go ahead. I'm definitely not going to, but crossing your ankles the other way this time. Half press ups, inhale. Exhale, dip down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, dip down. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, dip down. And inhale, lift up. Bring yourself to plank, exhale, take a breath in. Choose your way down to the mat. And we come again to those scissor legs, cobra. So inhale, lift legs apart. And take 3 scissoring breaths with the legs, drawing the shoulders back, open chest. One more. And then lower yourself all the way down. And on a breath in, peel the chest up. And move straight into a downward dog, breathe out. Noticing how this downward dog feels in the chest, the back of the ribs. And step your left foot forwards, bring the right knee down. Inhale, arms come up, palms together, and exhale, press your hands together behind your head. Scissoring your legs in towards each other as you open into the chest. So glorious. One more full breath in. And then breathe out, hands come down. Curl the back toes under. And step lightly forwards into your forward fold. Inhaling to a flat back. And exhale, fold. Palms together as you inhale and come all the way up. And exhale, hands to your heart. Take a breath, feel the body. Ujjayi is good for this kind of practice, for the focus. Breathe in, lift up. And breathe out, fold. Breathing into a lovely long spine, open chest. And step your right leg back behind you. Here you have a choice to keep the knee up or down. Plant the right hand down and twist to the left, inhale. And as you reach up, press down and push back with that back heel. Take another breath in and find your downward dog, breathe out. Come forwards to plank, come down to the mat your way. And I forgot the little press ups, so either come to a plank for your press ups or with on your knees, ankles crossed, and take 3. They can be really tiny. Try not to drop in the belly to keep that strength. And then everybody comes to plank or rolls down onto the belly. And inhale, scissor yourself into your 3 times with the legs cobra. So we're building a lot of strength and heat in this practice. Come down on your chest and then take a little cobra breathe in. And push yourself back to downward dog. Lovely and long now in the side body. And step the right foot forwards. And you have a choice, the left knee can be down or up. Press your left hand down, twist to the right, inhale. And exhale, really feeling out in all directions in this twist, radiating. Inhale, and then exhale, bring your hand down. Step yourself lightly forwards into your forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Palms together, inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands down. Inhale, lift. And exhale, fold again. Coming to your flat back, open chest. And take your left foot back. Coming back to that twist, knee up or down, breathe in. Twist to the right, breathe out. Take another breath in and really expand. And then find your downward dog. Come forwards to plank and choose your kind of press up and take 3. Noticing, a bit like what I've said earlier in the week, that there's a sandwich going on from the front of the body, the back of the torso, and the contents, so that your gut is modulating your spine here. Come back to plank, inhale. Choose your way down to the mat. Inhale into your scissor cobra and take 3. Probably feeling quite different now, quite warm, quite open in the chest, quite vibrant in the back. Come onto your belly. Inhale into a little cobra. Exhale, downward dog. And step your left foot forwards. Right knee can be down or up. And twist to the left. Feel the body here. Expand and radiate. Inhale. Exhale, hand comes down and step lightly forwards into a forward fold. Inhale to flat back. Exhale, fold. And inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands down, and take a breath here. Feel the body. I hope you're all still with me. And inhale, come up again. Maybe a bit more of a back bend this time. And exhale, fold. Inhale to flat back. And step the right foot back and bring the knee down. Place the left hand inside the left foot and bend up the right knee. Can you reach your right foot? And some of you may be able to bring your left elbow to the shoulder, you know what I mean, the knee, as you draw your right foot in towards the buttock. Don't just hang out here in the belly. Keep that support from the core as you take 2 more breaths. Lovely quad stretch. 1 more breath in and a long breath out. And then gently release. Getting into every nook and cranny. Downward dog. And come forwards to plank. Choose your way of doing 3 little press-ups. Supporting the spine. Choose your way down onto your belly. Scissor cobra, inhale. Remember your Ujjayi breath will help you. Inhale. Inhale. Come all the way down onto your belly and chest and lift into a little cobra, inhale. Downward dog. And step the right foot forwards, the left knee comes down. Right hand inside the right foot as you bend up the left. So you don't have to reach for the foot, this is enough to awaken the quadriceps, but if you're able to, draw the foot in, maybe come all the way up onto that right knee. And take a couple of breaths here. So don't compromise with the breath is the most important thing. One more breath in, and then breathe out, release. And step lightly forwards into your forward fold. Inhale, flat back. I wonder if you're noticing that these forward folds feel quite different now. Exhale, draw yourself down, navel up and under the diaphragm. Palms together as you inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands down. Let's take that again to the other side. Breathe in. You might be pleased to know that this is the last time we do any kinds of press-ups or anything like that. Come down into your forward fold. Breathe in, flat back. Step your left knee back. And we come to that same quad stretch. We've already done it once. It's good to repeat. Choose your way. Take a couple of breaths. Couple of breaths here. Really lift the pubic bone up. Open the chest, inhale. Exhale, downward dog. And if you've had enough of press-ups, that's absolutely fine. Just come through vinyasa. Come to plank. Choose whether you're just coming all the way down straight away or you want to take 3 final little press-ups before you come into your scissor cobra. Last one. Breathe. I hope you're going to feel so good after this. Come all the way down with your chest and your forehead and breathe in a little cobra. And come back to downward dog. Beautiful. And step your left foot forwards. Right knee down. Come to that quad stretch to the right if that is right for you. Or doing it your way. Breathe here. Make it about the breath. One more breath in. And then release. Step lightly into forward fold. And inhale, open your chest, long spine. Exhale, draw yourself down. Palms together now as you come all the way up. Inhale. And exhale. And take a moment now to feel the body. Notice the quality of energy in the body. Notice the earth beneath your feet, space around you, and breathe a few breaths, simply soaking it in. And then making sure that your feet are parallel and about hip distance apart. And breathe and lift up your arms. And as you breathe out, come into your Utkatasana, chair pose. Integrity in the torso, that sandwich, front, back and contents, lovely and long. Eyes up or straight ahead. Breathe. One more breath in. And then fold. Breathe out. Breathe into a flat back. Step back to downward dog. And float your right leg up as high as it will go. You'll feel maybe more mobility, more space here. Step the right foot in between your hands. And this time bring the left heel down now. And really firm down through the feet and windmill your way up into Warrior Two. And I'm going to leave you for 5 breaths to simply experience the pose your way, making the outside soft. One more inhale and a long exhale. And then we're all going to try and bind in our side angle pose today. So you'd like to just come down onto the right knee. If you know that you just don't want to bind, you come into the pose like this. Left arm over the ear. But we're going to take some time to bind today. I'd like you to take the right arm out in front of you, palm facing down. Turn the thumb down. And then thread the arm underneath the thigh. Now you don't want a wedgie. It's not up in the groin. It's kind of halfway towards the knee, so that your hand can flap up maybe the other side. And then sweep the left arm over. Maybe your hands can meet. Maybe not. Doesn't actually matter. But we're going to take 3 breaths. Make sure that front foot is straight. That's all I would say. And keep spinning, keep brightening towards the left. One more breath in. As you breathe out, look down, unbind, and gently come back to Warrior Two. And breathe, maybe feeling more opening now in the hips. And take a breath in. And then we'll come down to another side angle pose, either elbow to knee, or your right hand on the floor, inside or outside your foot, depending on you. Can you find space in this pose? And then bring your left hand to your hip. Drag the back foot in a little bit. Right hand down to the floor and take a little spring into your half moon pose. Lift the back leg. Maybe peel open the hip as you press the earth away with the standing foot, and maybe lift the left arm. Breathe. Breathe. Really kick back the standing heel, not the standing heel, the lifted heel. So you're radiating in all directions. Inhale. Exhale, bring your left hand down. Drop that left hip as you bring your left knee to the right knee. And we'll take a very curly standing split. So both knees can be bent as you begin to lift the left leg up behind you. Inhale. Exhale here. And then can you step yourself back to a plank. Take a breath in your plank and then choose your way to come down. Choose your way to come down. Take a back bend of your choice. And then come to 5 deep breaths in a downward dog. Or child's pose if this is just getting too strong this morning. A little bit intense. A little bit intense. 5 full breaths. And we'll take those poses to the other side. So lifting your left leg up. Lift it from the navel and lift, lift, lift. Step it through. Right heel comes down, 45 degrees. Come up to your Virabhadrasana 2, Warrior 2. Make it your own. You're all seasoned practitioners. I don't need to tell you all the details. Find your own pose. And steady the breath. Creating space to breathe. We're going to come to that bound side angle pose or elbow on the knee. Bring your left arm out in front of you, turn the thumb down, thread it through. Sweep the right arm over. Maybe you bind and you spin your chest to the right. Please make sure that the left foot is straight. You need to protect the knee. And breathe, 3 more breaths. Beautiful. 1 more breath in. And then breathe out, release your bind. Bring yourself back up to Warrior 2. Notice if it feels any different now. 1 more inhale. Side angle pose again in a different way, either hand down to the floor or not. And spin. Wonderful. Looking down, take your right hand to your hip. Draw the right foot in a little bit. Left hand is forwards and pop yourself into your half moon. Really press the standing foot away. Press the raised heel away. And maybe lift the right arm and breathe. And you're radiating out. Radiating out. 1 more breath in. And then drop that right hip. Bring your knees together. Both hands are on the floor for a curly standing split. Both knees are bent. Breathe here. And some of you might like to even jump back to your plank or step back. Come down to the mat your way. Find your little back bend. And personally, I'm going to come back to child's pose, but you may well want to breathe in downward dog. 5 full breaths. Come back to yourself. Come back to yourself. Steadying the breath, feeling the whole body alive. And probably quite warm. If you're not in downward dog, if you'd like to come to a downward dog, take a full breath in and out. And then step, jump or walk your feet forwards into forward fold. And inhale, long spine, open chest. Exhale, fold. Then we're going to sit back in our chair on the way back. Sit back and lift your arms. Find length, draw the front of the torso in towards the spine. Breathe. Really feel that energy out through your fingertips. One more inhale. Exhale. Come to standing. Whew. Take a moment to feel the body. How are you doing? I like it. Okay, should we do a little bit of balancing? A little bit of balancing, and then we'll come down to the mat. So if you'd like to firm up the left leg, really press down through the foot, and bring the right ankle over the knee. So you're opening the hip out here to the right. Bring your palms together. Find your steadiness. You could bend a little bit in that left knee. But eventually, if you can, you're going to sit back into a chair pose, a one-legged chair pose. You could take your arms out in front of you and draw the shoulders in, the arm bones into the shoulders. And breathe and really widen the hips. Take a breath in and a breath out. Can you inhale here and on the exhale straighten up again? Now this is quite tricky. Lift the right knee, arms come up. And step back lightly into a lunge. I didn't take a big enough step. Very, very light. Very light in your lunge. And we're going to step back. If you can, step back up. Come straight back into that one-legged chair. Breathe. And you have a choice here. This might be enough for you. You might like to drop your fingers to the floor. Sit back a little deeper into the hips. Some of you, I'm not going to do this, but might want to come into a little arm balance and even flip back into plank. But if you're like me, you're going to just elegantly release, step back to a little plank. Come down to the mat your way. It's time to slow it down a little bit, isn't it? Peel the chest up. And come back to a downward dog. Take a full breath in and out here. Before you're ready to look forwards and step into a forward fold. Inhale to a flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, come all the way up. And exhale, hands down. We're going to do this to the other side, and we're only doing it once to each side. So when you're ready, lovely and firm in the right leg. Bring your left ankle over the right knee. Find your way into this little chair, one-legged chair. Really separate your hips, widen them, take your arms out in front. Draw the arm bones back into the shoulders and breathe. And then gently inhale, and on the exhale lift. Arms up above you. Lift the knee. And step back into your little lunge. Nice and light. Nice and light. And then come back the way you came. And this is where you choose. Those of you who know the arm balance, you do that. I'm not teaching it, but you probably know in your own practice what to do. I do like to take my fingers down and sit a bit deeper because this gets right into the hips. Those of you who come into the arm balance, you basically make a shelf with your upper arms and rest your, You really press the left knee into the top of the left arm, you pull the left foot into the top of the right arm, and you lift the right foot behind you, but that's definitely not part of my practice these days. Wherever you are, gently step back to plank. Take a breath in, choose your way down to the mat. Lovely, lift the chest up. And now come back either to a downward dog or a child's pose. Downward dog might be quite nice for 5 full breaths. It's our final one. But if you just feel that there's not enough energy left, gather your energy in a child's pose. Deep, deep breaths. One more full breath in. And we're all going to meet in a cross-legged position or a position of your choice. For a few moments to feel the body here. Close your eyes if you want to. And drop the ujjayi. But simply coming into an awareness of everything that is present for you right now. Breathe a few more breaths, coming to a stillness within. And from here we come to lying on our backs, completely extended for a few breaths before we come just into mini back bend. Slowly unwinding before we come to Shavasana. And doesn't that feel good now? Completely supported, whole body. Breathe. Can you feel that vibration, that vibrancy of life? Fully alive, fully open to embrace the day. And everything that comes our way. Take a few more breaths here. Notice where you're tingling. Notice where you feel most alive. And also notice opposite sensations, maybe heaviness, maybe tiredness. And allow everything to be present. Set everything free to be here. If you'd like to bend up your knees, feet on the floor, hip distance apart. And if you'd like to press your upper arms into the floor, but lift your fingertips towards the ceiling, allowing your shoulder blades to fan out on the floor. I'm going to make it very simple back bend because we've had a very energetic practice. At least I felt it, I don't know about you. In your own time, lift yourself, pressing into your feet, into a little back bend. You can draw your shoulder blades together if you like. Take your chin back a little. And take 5 breaths to simply feel the strength of the back of your body and the opening and expansiveness of the front of your body. One more full inhalation, and then gently come down, hands to your belly. Feel the body. And we'll do one more back bend. You can do exactly what we did. I'm going to do a version where I interlace my hands underneath my back. You'll see what I mean. Lift yourself up. If you're going to interlace your hands, really roll your upper arms under. Interlace your hands and press the hands and arms into the floor to lever you up. 5 full expansive breaths. Space to breathe. One more full breath in, and then gently release again. Come all the way down. And bring your knees together as you walk your feet out to the side. And take a few deep breaths into your belly. Softening the whole body now. And this could be the end of your practice. I'm going to invite you into just 2 more very gentle, unwindy type poses if you'd like to come with me. We'll take pigeon on the back, right ankle over the left knee, drawing both legs in towards you, either over the shin or behind the thigh. And breathe to create space in the pelvis here. Drawing the sitting bones wide apart as you bring your legs in towards you. As soft and melty in all the tissues of the face as possible, including the throat. Take a full breath in. And as you breathe out, release your arms out into a T shape and simply drop the right foot down to the left into a little mini twist here. Look over to the right and see what shape your legs fall into without any particular concern to come into a strong twist. Let go. And then gently come back the way you came. And we'll take those 2 poses to the right. So take your left ankle over the right knee. Draw your legs in towards you, either over the shin or behind the thigh. And breathe. Really releasing in the palate of your mouth. Take a full breath in. And as you breathe out, release your arms Bring your legs over to the right. Take your eyes to the left. Just a simple little twist. To soften and let go. Lovely to see you, Louise. Lovely to see all of you. Class numbers have been shooting down completely understandably, but a rainy Saturday is a good way to get you here, I reckon. Life's picked up a new and uncertain momentum, hasn't it? In your own time, bringing yourself back. Bringing both knees in together for a hug. A little bit of a squeeze. And if there's anything left that you feel that would be just the right thing to do, please go ahead, make it your own practice. And then when you're ready, make sure you're warm enough as you come into a relaxation. And at 10:30, I'll turn on the cameras if people want to say hello to each other or to me. And if you don't want to, then of course, simply turn it all off. And thank you so much for coming. Take time to settle. And don't take anything for granted now as you come into this Shavasana. Can you be microscopic in your inquiry, in your observations? At the level of the physical body, at the level of the energy body, and at the level of your thinking and emotional body. Set everything free to be here. Allowing the whole body to drop with the force of gravity. Natural stream of the breath. Like a swell on an open ocean. And of course, you might like to stay longer in your Shavasana. But if you're ready to come out, beginning to take a few slightly deeper breaths. As you come into the breath, come into feeling the body, I'm going to read a short poem I read last night in the Yin class. It's a poem called Today by Mary Oliver. Today I'm flying low and I'm not saying a word. I'm letting all the voodoos of ambition sleep. The world goes on as it must, the bees in the garden rumbling a little, the fish leaping, the gnats getting eaten, and so forth. But I'm taking the day off, quiet as a feather. I hardly move, though really I'm travelling a terrific distance. Stillness, one of the doors into the temple. You might like to begin to take a few little movements into your extremities, into your fingers, your toes, your wrists and ankles. Maybe moving your head gently from side to side, having a full stretch. Giving yourself a hug, knees into your chest if that feels good. And rolling over to one side. Take your time. And when you're ready, joining me in a seated position, hands in front of the heart. And Julie, I do apologise, you were there last night too. So lovely to see you.